Hey, good evening. It is 7 o'clock straight up on the East Coast. I'm Dave Globin, Boogie with the Bull. Thursday Night Live is on a device near you. We are live on the Dave Globin profile, and we are live on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. Both have live chats, so if you wish, go to one of them and meet us there. Hang on just a second as I try to get the monitor for the live chat on the Facebook going, and this monitor is just not doing it tonight. More live technical BS courtesy of Meta, those nice people that just don't want to make it easy. Anyway, we're live on the Dave Globin profile, and we're live on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, and you are more than welcome to come and join us and be in the live chat on either place. They decided to make two-step authentication go on just as I was trying to set the monitor so I could watch us, and for some strange reason, they're just making it difficult, and I can't see it. So I'm here, and if you want to join me, you are more than welcome to join me on the live chats. Again, over on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, or over here on Facebook on the Dave Globin profile. If you are watching the program, I hope you will do me a favor and share the broadcast in every conceivable Facebook group you know of that will allow you to post the broadcast, or if it's your own group that you will want members of your group to see. And matter of fact, I had it queued up. I was going to tell you something very exciting that made me very happy when I looked. Right now, we're live on the Dave Globin profile. Like I said, I scrolled down my page, and I am looking for Tuesday night, which was the last one. 124 views, 124 views total. I think it was 69 watched us live. So we're getting out there, and we're getting noticed. People are watching. I'm very happy, and people are sharing. I'm incredibly happy about that. Anybody who can hear my voice on Facebook or on the YouTube channel is more than welcome to join us on a Boogie with the Bull broadcast. You do not have to be a citizen journalist. You can be an American citizen with an opinion, with a thought, how you believe. You don't have to be a conservative patriot, but if you are not a conservative patriot or a Republican or aligned that side, I can't guarantee how you will get treated on a Boogie with the Bull broadcast, because when I invite non-conservative patriots or non-Republicans to the program, they tend to end up going off on me, and I end up going off on them until I just bounce them from the broadcast. And I don't really want to do that. You know, everybody on Facebook, you have a right to think and feel how you wish, and we think here that you have a right to share that with all of Facebook. That's probably why they've kept us here on Facebook for, I think, going into, I have to look it up. It's either year 3 going into year 4 or year 4 going into year 5. It's something like that. I don't know. But I'm having a great time doing it. I want to thank Jerry Michaels, who will be with us shortly, I believe, tonight, for having me on the American Rebellion on Rumble. The American Rebellion on Rumble, 7 p.m., Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday nights. Nikki Young and I and Jerry were together last night, and it was a great broadcast. And I don't just say that it was a great broadcast because they gave me, I don't know, 30 minutes. It might have been longer to discuss dementia. And I compared it to Joe Biden's having dementia, and everyone knows that I have dementia. I have dementia that is linked with Parkinson's. Dementia can be linked with Alzheimer's. Dementia can be linked with all three of them. And I cannot imagine having dementia, having the possibility of Alzheimer's and the possibility of Parkinson's altogether. I know how bad something can be. Fortunately, God blessed me with bipolar 1 and bipolar 2. Bipolar 1 is either depression, bipolar 2 is hypermania, and I have both. Now, people tell me that if you're bipolar, you have both. Well, I have severe manic depression, and I have severe hypermania. So, mental health is not always a easy thing to deal with, but you deal with it as easily as you can. William Grant, my buddy, is watching in the Dave Goldman live chat over here on Facebook. Good evening to you, William, and hopefully other people will join in. In that realm, I normally just check throughout the day with people that I want to have on the Boogie with the Bull broadcast and maybe put up some promos so that people will watch and there'll be a live chat. If anybody ever has an idea for a broadcast, even if you don't want to be on the broadcast, if you have an idea for a broadcast and you just want me to take your idea and go to town with it, you are more than welcome anytime to write something and send it to me. You can send it to me on Messenger at Dave Globin. Go to my profile and click message and send it to me on Messenger, or you can email it to me at boogiewiththebull@gmail.com. boogiewiththebull@gmail.com. I will read your idea. I will get back to you. I will probably do a video chat with you through Messenger if I can, and we will just work on it. I will try to get people that are available that want to come on, or even if you have guests that you could line up, but again, you don't want to be on the broadcast, fantastic. Work with me and we'll get you out and get your information out to everybody in Facebook Nation. If you're an admin of a group and you want to plug your group, group owner of a group, you want to plug your group, come on and talk. I'm an admin of so many groups that I lose count. We have 11 core groups. I'm an admin in probably 11 more. I'm a moderator in a bunch. I talk about our groups every day on Facebook. So, if you want to come on and talk about your groups, please do. If you got events happening in your state that you want promoted all over Facebook, talk to me. We'll get them into our groups. I'll get them into everybody's group. I will even talk about it on the broadcast. You are more than welcome to have your events promoted. And yes, they do not have to be just Republican-sided events, but that's where we lean toward. And even if you're not of my persuasion, a Republican or a conservative patriot, as I call ourselves these days, you're still welcome to come on and promote your events, because it's important to get people out to your events. It's important to have a live link that I can take and broadcast your events, regardless of who they are or what they are, and get it out on Facebook Nation and over on YouTube and around the internet from YouTube, because, hey, we are losing. We are losing. We are using. We are losing. We are losing the means of access to social media. Someone messaged me this afternoon, I guess, and wanted me to watch. I guess Mark Zuckerberg was up on Capitol Hill, either in the House or in the Senate today, testifying again, and really got hammered. And unfortunately, I slept most of the day, which is a byproduct of having mental illness. And I missed it, so I will go and try to find it at some point today and make sure it's posted in all the groups, every other group I can get it posted into, and probably comment on it on Tuesday's Boogie with the Bull. We'll have a comment from Boogie with the Bull on it. If I get on to the American Rebellion, tomorrow is Friday or Saturday, I'll make sure we discuss it over there. Deborah Lowe is watching on the Dave Woven profile somewhere on Facebook. And again, if you're watching, share it. And as I said on the marquee for tonight's broadcast, share it with people that you like, share it with people that you don't like, share it into groups that you don't like, if you're in any of them. And just knowledge is power. We just want to get knowledge out. Joining me live in the center square or on the right square, Jerry Michaels from the American Rebellion over on Rumble. How are you, Jerry? Your mic is turned off. At least on my screen, your mic is turned off. There it is.
Yeah, most people are happy about that, Dave. I'm doing all right. I haven't slept in 24 hours.
Oh, no, not good.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Not good.
No, I don't know why.
I woke up. Yeah. I woke up after about 9 hours of sleep last night. I felt great, but an hour after morning meds, morning mental health meds, I was back asleep and I slept most of the day. So
yeah, I was wondering where you were, because usually I see you.
Usually I'm on, and usually I'm on, but we've gotten to the point with the groups that I'm either an admin in a group that has so many admins that if I'm not there one day, everything continues as it should. And in my groups, we have enough admins that everything continues if I'm not there on a day anyway. And matter of fact, I was going to ask you yesterday, how is your wife doing with the procedure that she had recently on her back?
Still in bed, so I would have to say not great.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, our thoughts and prayers go out.
I suspect this is the rest of our lives, so I'm not really sure what to say about it. To be truthful,
well,
doesn't seem good to me. These people in the medical profession, they keep doing shit and nothing seems to work on nothing.
Yeah.
So, couldn't tell you.
Yep. Well,
how you been?
I'm okay. Got some sad news a little earlier. My mother, who is in assisted living in Massachusetts, is in the emergency room overnight. They think it's some kind of infection that they could treat with antibiotics, and they'll keep her overnight and watch her, and they'll send her home. And she just turned 87, so these things happen, and it's too bad she doesn't get rewards or points for all the overnight stays in the hospital because you get that old and sometimes that's what happens. So or at least frequent flyer mileage that gets you a better room when you stay. I think that's what the depression was, because I've always had a really close link with my mother, that even if I'm not near her or haven't spoken to her in days, if something is wrong, I know. And unfortunately, I think I knew something was wrong this morning and got so depressed over it that I just rolled back over and went to sleep, which is not the best way to do it. But, she's doing very well. They'll probably keep her, like I said, a day or two, and then they'll send her home. And she's probably, I don't know if she's safer in the hospital than she is at her assisted living center, because her assisted living center, I think, just came off a COVID lockdown. So, anyway, Mom, if you're watching, I'm sure You probably aren't, but if you are, I hope you get well and return home soon. And if you're not, maybe my sister Joy is watching, and we'll pass something to my mother. But I'm the Alex P. Keaton of the 5 kids, so my sisters don't. My sisters
Oh,
and my brother don't usually watch Boogie with the Bull or hang in the same areas of Facebook that I do. But
ah,
you know,
well,
you know, I
I understand.
I grew up to be Michael J. Fox. I wanted to be Alex P. Keaton. And I guess I wanted to be Alex P. Keaton so good that I got rewarded with dementia and Parkinson's. And unfortunately, he only got rewarded with Parkinson's. So, but anyway, I wanted to thank you last night for the opportunity to speak as long as we did on dementia, even though I was trying to link it to Joe Biden the whole time. But uh, but but I'm happy when the opportunity to share that and share knowledge on that gets out. And it's hard to get people that have the same issues to want to come on a broadcast. But anyway, what's new and exciting in the news? Because, like I said, I didn't pay attention to really anything. I mean, I turned off all the notifications on my phone and just didn't pay any attention.
Well, apparently, Marjorie Taylor Greene is bringing forth a resolution to censor Ilhan Omar, because Ilhan Omar, surprisingly enough, said something stupid like she represents people from Somalia, or she represents Somalia, the Somalian government, or something.
Well,
And my guess, yet again, nothing will happen. But Marjorie Taylor Greene actually said that she would rather her be expelled from the House, but doesn't think she has the votes for it, which I find quite despicable.
yeah.
And then the other one, Rashida Tlaib and Cori Bush, are the only two who voted against not allowing anyone who participated in the attack on Israel, including the PLO, which I didn't even know was a thing anymore, but apparently it is, into our country, which seems silly considering how many terrorists we're letting in now. But nevertheless, one person voted present, and 400 and however many voted against, for it, and these two idiots voted against it. So, when they're in the government, and you don't get rid of them, I gotta tell you, you're in a lot of trouble. You
Yeah.
really are.
Yeah. Doesn't she?
Know,
She's from Minnesota, I believe. But don't they have a very large community in Minnesota?
Obama packed them up there in the Twin Cities, and she, I think she represents one of the Twin Cities, or both. I don't know. Robert Lawless knows this stuff because he lives there.
Yeah.
But what do you call? Obama packed the Twin Cities full up, and so Ilhan Omar is there. I think Rashida Tlaib is from Michigan, actually.
Yeah.
So,
well, she is. Rashida is not one of my favorite people, mainly because I've gotten more Facebook community standards violations by typing her name on a post than any other member of Congress. And I've said before that I can call her Rashida Towelhead, which I have been known to do on numerous occasions on a broadcast. But if I type it into the live chat or type it onto a post, I can expect a 6-day ban at the least. But I don't care. I do know that Mark Zuckerberg got called to Capitol Hill. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, he got his usual dressing down, and then went back to make $1 billion every other week.
Yeah. I missed it, so I'm going to have to go.
This time it was about, he made like 68 million or $1 billion while he was helping pedophiles stay on Facebook, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't understand how pedophiles are so hard to like throw off, and their groups and their pages, and they have advertising and stuff, and put pictures of kids that they want to do, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't see most of their groups out. Yeah, you don't see most of their groups out in the open, even if they're private groups. They're very well hidden, and they are here. But the truth is, they shouldn't be here. But what my brain started to say to you is that when you have a government that, and this is the first time I've ever said this, so listen, people, when you have a government that endorses certain things like this and may perhaps be involved in certain things like this, and you have a government run social media network like the one that we're on, it's impossible to get them to remove communities.
It's easy enough. So here's the thing. Excuse me. It's easy enough to kick us off, but they can't kick off pedophiles. It's not hard for them to do any of it. They just choose not to.
It's not hard to do anything. It's not hard to do anything.
And because they don't want to choose, they choose not to, because the pedophiles are part of the LBQRST people.
Right.
And nobody wants them upset with Facebook and blah 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 blah.
Right.
X is the same.
Right. But if
you look hard enough on you look hard enough on YouTube, I guarantee you find the same shit.
Any social media network that actually wants to ban you from there, meaning you cannot use it, and you cannot use it for life until they decide that you can come back, it takes 5 minutes for a human programmer. It may take less for a AI programmer to do it. It takes 5 minutes to do it, and you will not be back on that social media network until they decide to let you on. StreamYard did it to me. I was their baby for a while, and then one day I spouted off at the owners because they ticked me off about something stupid, and it was 5 years before I got back. Didn't matter if I bought a new device that had never been on and tried to do a new account. So it's easy to do, but they just don't want to do it.
They get you by your IP address.
Yeah.
So no matter how many things you buy or new ones or whatever, it's still the same IP address.
Yeah.
So, and let's face it, they have all our information that they'll ever need in their life to find us, get rid of us, and whatever. But if you're a pedophile, apparently you're safe as shit, because all these hearings they have with the big three, social media companies, they just keep doing what they're doing. They don't actually care. I don't even know why they bother to show up, to be truthful.
There it is. Brian brought up a good point, that no one understands why it's a tiny percentage, but it is, and it is time that we take care of it. Go ahead, Jerry.
Oh, I understand it because we've allowed it. We've allowed the people in power back in power every few years to where they've set up the whole government um, against us. That's how it works. We keep voting for the same idiots that keep screwing us. And if you finally get somebody new in there, they seem to change once the minute they get in. And
Yeah.
why is that? Well, because they had to get a lot of money from a lot of different places to win the election, and now they owe somebody.
Yep.
And it ain't money, it's political
No.
favors. And
Yep.
sorry, and then, on top of that, we have these bills that they put out that are 200 pages long and nobody can read them. And, you know, they're just killing us slowly but surely. And this is why taxes are what they are. Not to mention the very few in power. I mean, has anyone heard from Mitch McConnell in the last couple of months? Used to hear about that guy saying something every single day. Okay, he's like the co-leader of the Senate. Well, he's co-leader B. Let's put it that way. Okay, and you know, I don't know. It's ah. You know what?
It,
If I had an answer on how to fix this, I'd be doing that podcast, but I don't. And
well,
it is so
I,
overwhelming how much stuff needs to be done and how many things need to be either erased or fixed that thinking about it will drive you nuts,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, it
So,
is. It, it's, it's difficult to plan a broadcast. And I only do them 2 days a week. You do them 4 days a week. So you must be banging what's left of your head against the nearest brick wall.
no,
You,
I don't take doing this that seriously is the trick. Um on nights we're not on, I'll skim through the news, okay? But none of it's ever any good. So,
yeah,
matter of fact, I will stop reading the news about halfway through the normal stuff I read because none of it's any good, and I just don't want to deal with it on my day off. And on the day that we do it, I mean, I really I don't take it seriously. Um, I'd like to have more viewers. I'd like to make money at it. I would, but
yeah.
because I don't, this shit will get anybody down. I don't care who it is. The whole
It
country
costs
right now is down.
it
Is
costs
down
so much.
because
Yeah. Go ahead.
we with the amount of crap coming at us every single day. It's amazing. And what we do is important. If for nothing else, I mean, I don't want to overstate it or anything, but
No, go ahead.
if nothing else, it gives people an outlet, to express frustration or, laugh or whatever. And that part's important, but
Yeah.
and we have all the answers. We do. Every one of these shows like this has the answers. Okay? But nobody's listening. That's the problem.
Right.
Like Ilian Omar should have been censured for things she has said. The 9/11 thing she said. What was that? 2, 3 years ago? Whatever it was.
Yeah.
4 years? I don't even know now.
Well, personally, maybe she should never have
Brian, I,
gotten
I
elected in
actually
the
I'll
beginning.
read Breitbart. I'll read the Daily Caller. A few other ones I have on a list. Dan Bongino report.
Yeah.
That's more of a news aggregate where it's from all over.
Yeah.
And it's all conservative. I will watch conservative videos,
Yeah.
like Jay Foster, or was it Jay Foster? I think his name is Dan Bongino, of course. You know,
I mean,
I watch
J,
Patriot TV on Rumble, where they have it's all conservative. I actually watched a show out of Ohio today, Brian,
yeah,
and they were talking about their politics there. And yeah, you got problems there. There's no doubt of that.
yeah,
But then
yeah,
so does every other state. Florida's no different. Don't think Florida is so great, or Texas, or any of these places, because the political stunts being played by the governors. We have just as many problems, just as many taxes, just as many everything else, and it's just as much of a mess. It's just we have a governor who makes it seem like we can walk out our door and do anything we want. Um, they got rid of gun permits here, and they call it constitutional carry. It's not, because I should be able to carry a gun anywhere I want, anytime I want, and there are places in Florida you're not allowed to carry a gun. Okay. I should also be able to carry it on my hip, my shoulder, wherever I want, open to the public, and screw you, okay, without the police harassing you for it, because that's what they do. Okay.
yeah,
It's just like, yeah, you're right. And every state is divided. In Florida, it's mostly like South Florida is very liberal, and anything above West Palm Beach. If you look at the map, those are the three huge counties down at the bottom. And the rest of the state is pretty much Donald Trump. But you look at Miami, Dade County, it's turning. It's a very slow process, but it's turning, and that's mostly Cuban, because they hate the fact that America is turning into a socialist communist state, and that's where they came from. So they have come a long way since the day of the uh, Alien and Gonzalez and all that bullshit that happened down there, where they were, they're the ones who started with the blocking the traffic on the major highways and stuff down back in the 80s. They were doing that. That's all copycat crap they're doing now. I remember going to work and being stopped on 95 because they would either lay in the highway or they were getting cars and drive at 5 miles an hour on 75, which is a major thoroughfare in Florida. It's a major highway, and it's amazing. It reminds me of Cuba. Yeah, it does. It's exactly
yeah,
like Cuba in some cases here. As a matter of fact, apparently Obama's trying to make good relations with the Castros, and I don't see that with Biden, but that's what pissed everybody down there off about Obama. They actually, at one point during, it may have been Trump or it may have been Obama. I don't remember. It was a while ago. Um, they basically heckled Nancy Pelosi out of Miami. Okay. She came down there thinking she was going to be, the queen, and they told her something different, and so
yeah,
you know, which is good, because
yeah.
people like that need to know that they're hated, and to get behind their walls, because they're, listen, I'm going to tell you something. My opinion. The days of these people are numbered. They are. How many more days they have, that's another question. But they are numbered. We have gone through so many changes in the United States from the dawn of it till now. None of this is really new. Back in the day in Vietnam, like when Brian was in Vietnam, they were praising the Vietnamese, who were, you know, not the Viet Cong were not the nicest people on the planet. They were basically the modern day terrorists. In the 70s, we had terrorists all the freaking time, hijacking airplanes, hijacking boats, killing hostages, all that kind of shit. It's not really that much. It's much bigger scale now is the problem, and we have incompetence leading us, so it's not getting better. But
But still, now
their days are numbered.
aren't
It's
some of the
coming.
worst aren't some of the worst modern day pirates relatives of Ilhan Omar. They're all Somali. Most of them
Yeah, Somalis.
are Somali pirates, and they're not nice. And they'll come on with something small. They'll get out to a big boat with something much smaller, less equipped, and get onto a big boat, and they'll take that big boat over and they'll hold it until they get some money.
Yep. What we need to do is start arming the freighters and put the military on the freighters, and that would stop pretty quick. With orders to shoot to kill. Okay, period. End of discussion. Shoot to kill. That would end pretty quick. But
last night we were talking about.
We won't do that.
Yeah. Go ahead. Last night we were talking about
if one of our entertainers went to Germany and set or gone to the prisoner of war camp and got a bunch of guys the shit beat out of them, or a couple of them dead from being beaten to death. Yeah, and that bitch is being still collecting awards as a great actress. She's most. I had no idea. I actually had Sal read about this because I could never figure out why they hated her for so long, but I know why now. And she walked down the line of prisoner of war guys, and shook their hands, asked them questions. Is the people of the Republic of Vietnam treating you well? Or do you feel bad that you were killing these people? And they were handing her pieces of paper to bring back to the United States so that their families knew they were alive. And when she got to the end of the line, she handed them over to, like, the commanding officer or somebody. And
they were tortured.
Wow.
Yeah. Didn't John McCain say that they were told, they were basically beaten to the point of understanding that they were going to say that everything was great at the Hanoi Hilton, and then cleaned up and paraded in front of her, and then after she left, they were probably beaten even worse.
But then John McCain was a piece of shit too, if you ask me. I mean, I don't believe any official reports, but I do believe the guys that were actually there with him, and they don't have a lot of good stuff to say about him. I'm sorry. And then the whole thing with the Forrestal, which doesn't help. Here's a weird thing, Dave. You got somebody named Aria Garcia in the comments, and I can go on everybody else's, like Brian, I'm on his, and I can click on the three dots that apparently you don't have. I can block the user. But on hers, there's nothing. There is nothing there.
I actually got the
that's kind of odd.
I got the three dots back yesterday because excuse my English, ladies, I bitched out really bad. One of the senior techs at StreamYard last night, and I don't usually do that because they usually handle everything, any problem I have, even something stupid, in a very quick amount of time. But I did notice that well, you're actually right. On hers, I don't have them on hers. You're right.
Yeah, I don't
have
either.
The three
it's
dots.
Weird.
So
and she's obviously she's a hooker or she's a guy. One of them two. It's obvious.
Or someone on
or working for Facebook. Something. Possibly,
or working for Facebook or working for StreamYard. I mean, everybody.
No, not for StreamYard. It ain't StreamYard.
Yeah.
No, it's not StreamYard. It's Facebook.
Yeah, it's probably Facebook.
She's piece of shit. Anyway, Brian says if it means anything, she did apologize for her actions. Listen, I wasn't in Vietnam, but I don't forgive her, and I don't blame guys for not forgiving her. She deserves every bad goddamn thing that happens. I hope she dies a horrible death, because them guys getting a shit beat out of them that did die in Vietnam, the POW camp there, they did. And I want her to die the exact same death. I'm done. not, forgive and forget all that bullshit because I've been called too many names. She actually came out one time and said, "I don't understand why they hate me so much still." Yeah, that's because you're a communist
what
piece of
state
crap,
what
and
state of
you
dementia is
did
she
something
in?
that was absolutely your own father wouldn't speak to you after that.
Right.
The only one that would
Yeah.
speak to you is that equally big piece of crap, your brother.
Yeah.
Okay, and you know,
What state of dementia is she
so
in that she doesn't understand? That's
yeah,
I hate
I
to
know,
use that
I
word to
know.
people, but sometimes you just have to call a spade a spade. Uh,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
Hollywood raises her up. Um, the people she works with talk about how wonderful she is. And at one time, she was a good actress, and I'm guessing she still is. But I have to tell you, I don't even watch De Niro movies anymore because I can't
yeah,
get past the fact of how much vile hatred is in his art. It
yeah,
just bothers me that people are that vile with hatred. You know, I'm worried about. Hey, there's Beth McCord. I'm
yeah,
worried about the country in general and the people in it, and myself, you, everybody, and how we're going to make it through this next year. And there's people out there that are vile with hatred against Trump in positions of some sort of public power, either, actors, actresses, news people, talking heads, whatever, politicians, of course. And the problem is it's hard to tell if they actually mean it or if it's just politics because I got to tell you some of these people, man, are horrible. And they say it with such ease, it bothers me. And they don't say it to our face, they'll say it into a TV camera because they know if they go out in public and say this crap to somebody's face, they're not coming back.
no,
It's that simple.
it's right,
So
right. It's
they even threw Tokyo Rose in jail for her actions in World War II. She was in jail. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Well,
yeah,
if you watch any World War II movie, Tokyo Rose was always part of it, and she was a propagandist and
yeah,
basically a liar because that's what propaganda is. And she was the enemy. They're most likely
that,
bought and paid for. But Beth, don't you think they say it with such ease that it's hard to tell if they can believe it or not. It really is. I mean, they're using the Taylor Swift thing now, which I'm over. I've never liked Taylor Swift. Her music, even when it was country, I didn't like it. Um, I don't really watch football anymore. I don't watch football at all. I read about it, and everything, but I don't watch it um, at all. I haven't watched a game in 4 or 5 years. I'm not going to watch the Super Bowl, so I don't really care. But they're oversaturating the market with her, and now she has endorsed Joe Biden, and I literally have no understanding of why. So
uh,
I don't know. Joe Biden is brain dead or potato head or mashed potatoes or whatever the hell he is, whatever disease he
right.
has no business being anywhere near the White House.
And,
The
and,
unions have endorsed him, but they even admitted most of their members are going to vote for Trump.
right.
And why not? Because Trump isn't what Trump. If there was ever like polar opposites, is Joe Biden and Trump.
Yep.
And she's owned by Soros. Well, I don't know. Everybody says everybody's owned by Soros. It's
Right.
not hard to believe for sure, but and after listening, Cat Williams, you listen to him. They're all. I mean, there's a cult, a literal cult where it's kind of like politics. When they let you in, you're in, and you better not screw up, and you'll be fine and be rich
Yeah.
and fabulous and whatever. And if you do screw up, you'll be like me. I look homeless when I leave the house, and nobody pays attention to me. Um, it's just the way
I thought
it
about
is,
this.
I guess.
I thought
I don't
about
know.
this. I thought about this earlier before we went live tonight. I grew up. I'm 62, and I grew up sort of understanding that you always respected the president. You spoke bad about him if he did something bad, but all in all, you basically respected them because they were the president. And the problem that I got is
Yeah.
that I don't respect Joe Biden, and I respect him even less
No.
because he's president. And I mean, I can't even find something good to say about him in the few minutes before I
There's nothing
come
good.
on
Yeah.
each
Right.
day, other than
You're
maybe
right.
the best thing to do would be to take that $250,000 per plate that he got in Juniper, Florida the other night and buy a house somewhere that he doesn't already own one and hire a staff to take care of him and live out his life and be happy. Or,
Oh,
supposedly there
I
were
don't want him to do
rumors.
that. She's
Yeah.
been robbing us too long. I want him to drop dead of a horrible disease. I'm to the point now I don't care. I want these people to suffer what they've made us suffer for. But I think I understand what you're saying because I grew up the same way. We're born a year apart. You respect the the president, you respect police, you respect this, that, and the other. But I think that kind of ended with the president in a pretty early '70s with Richard Nixon. Um, it was Richard Nixon was you could compare him a lot like Trump as far as popularity. Either you loved him or you absolutely despised him. And, you know, um, that ended with that. And since then, the police have become very militarized. Um, and actors and actresses and all these people, they've always, you know, come out with liberal issues and spoke about liberal issues, at every awards ceremony. And I mean, look at that crap that Indian woman did for Marlon Brando on the Oscars. Okay. Um, and then to come to find out, just like most liberals, she was full of crap. She was not actually an Indian, because she just died recently, that woman. Raintree or Little Feather or some crap or another. I can't remember her name. Right. And in the end, um, we're finding out about Fannie Willis. We're finding out about the other one, I think is from Georgia, and how corrupt they are and how they actually got into office and what they've been doing since in office. We're finding out all these things on these people who were so righteous about getting Trump. Nobody respects anything anymore about these people because they're so underhanded. And I think it was the same way back then. We didn't have the internet and did not know. We did have investigative reporters. We had Walter Cronkite. We had a lot of things, but then who did they go after? They went after Nixon, a Republican. They never went after um, you know, Democrats back then. They always still went after Republicans. To
Yeah.
call liars and pretenders celebrities is a joke. Yeah, I call them. They go to work to play make believe, and they act like it's an art. And um, I don't know. Yeah, I've never tried it before, so I couldn't tell you. But I can tell you that It can't be that goddamn hard. You're pretending to be somebody else. It's all it is.
Yep. Yeah.
She's right.
It's
Beth
terrible.
is right.
She is.
They're all
She's
coming
just,
out now.
yeah. Yep. Yep.
Never went after Kennedy, and he was supposedly, he definitely was a womanizer. But then again, he got to sleep with Marilyn Monroe, and Bill Clinton got that fat chick. So I don't know, and the one with the nose. So I don't know. At least Kennedy had better taste, and I don't really care about that. I'll be truthful. I don't. You're the president. You should be able to, get women. I'm sorry. You're a billionaire. You should be able to get women. I'm sorry. That's how it is. That's why most guys become billionaires, quite frankly, because we spend our whole life trying to get women. But I do care about what they actually do. And Kenny was an old Democrat where he was actually trying to do some good for the country by getting us out of the Fed and all that. Put us on the gold standard again instead of the dollar. That kind of stabilized the economy. He saw what was coming and he tried to stop it, and instead they stopped him. I am fully believe that people in the United States government, including possibly Johnson, was involved in his death. I have no doubt the mob was involved in his death, and probably Russia and a few other countries were probably involved in his death. So it's I don't know, Dave. Everything is a screen for something else. I swear to God.
It is. It is. And it's sad that it is this way. I really wanted to watch Zuckerberg if I had known that he was going to be on, just because he's just so nonchalant when he's getting grilled by people these days that he thinks he's okay doing whatever he does, and they should just shut him down. But anyway, everybody else is the same way, and if we could
apparently
remove. Go ahead.
I've also heard he's building a damn huge ass bunker in Hawaii.
Oh yeah, he's been buying up land in Hawaii for a long time, and anytime any land around it comes up, anytime land comes up around it, he buys it, just like he did with his home in Palo Alto. He ended up buying the whole neighborhood because he bought all the houses around his, and then just put up a huge fence around it. But I mean, I gotta wonder, with all these Democrats buying up as much land as they can anywhere they can, are they trying to continue to live Epstein's dream by just building compounds wherever they can build compounds, rather than building than buying islands and building islands?
My question is he's building a bunker. What the hell does he know that I don't? And I am not privileged enough to know, or along with the rest of us. He's got actual blast doors in his damn thing. Now, why he would build it on Hawaii, I don't know. That seems weird. But, you'd think maybe in the Midwest, in the mountains somewhere, that would be good.
I think Hawaii is destined to become the headquarters of. He took all of his Meta percentage, whatever he owned, and he and his wife, Dr. Phyllis Chen, a real doctor, not like Dr. Jill, I believe most of their income from Facebook all goes back into something called the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative. And I don't exactly know what it is, other than it's probably something like the Clinton Foundation. The rumors that I've heard is that eventually the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative will be headquartered in some David Koresh style compound in Florida. I mean, Hawaii.
Well, they're still not letting people onto their property in was it Maui, right? Where the fire, the fire, where the fire was. Um, you know, it's been what 6 months, a year now, whatever it's been. They're not letting people in. Why? Why is that happening? This thing stinks to high heaven.
Oh yeah.
These circumstances around the actual fire, people seeing shit coming out of the sky and all the rest of it. And then, no alarms. Schools sending kids home, but no parents at home, and kids, dying probably from smoke first. I hope.
Well,
That kind of thing. And they're not even letting the people that own property in there back in. And I there is so much about that we will never know. I mean, we can guess, we can figure this out and figure that out. But in the end, like I always say, no matter how bad you think it is, it's much worse.
oh, I'm sure it is.
This government has no compunction to hold political prisoners. Does anyone really think that killing off half a population of an island or making them the ones that leave and not come back, even though they own the property, is so out of bounds? I mean, no. We just look at the list behind the Clintons, and then take a look at Chelsea and try to figure out why your father's dead. I mean, along with the other crap
because Hillary Clinton, because Hillary Clinton is her mother.
I know.
But I'm sure.
Also, look at the other stuff he was involved in with Hillary, and my guess is he may have balked, and that was all Hillary needed.
Yeah.
Do I think Hillary actually killed him? No. That's what we got the CIA for.
Right.
That guy, what was that reporter's name they found in D.C. on the street? Shot like 3 times. His wallet was still with him.
Yeah.
And he was about to give up a bunch of evidence against Hillary.
Yeah.
I got news for you people. Yeah. They've been killing us off slowly but surely a lot of different ways. But when you get in the way, they make sure everybody knows. They shoot you in the back of the head with your own gun 3 times just to make sure it's suicide, even though it seems suspect.
Thank you, Alan. 2 old men on a broadcast can never remember names half the time. But but
Death Rich.
The person I want to get on the stand is, as far as Hawaii goes, is Barack Obama, because he claims that's where he was born. He's got to be all over that. What's going on there somewhere?
I don't know. I think he's got enough worries with his cook, right? His personal chef or whatever the hell he was, dying in his freaking wading pool or whatever it was. I don't know. That seemed a little suspect.
Yeah, he was a former chef and supposedly he died on the beach. Yeah.
I don't know.
Or they said they said he died on the beach, but then all of a sudden he died on their property. They weren't there supposedly, or at least they claimed they weren't there. You never know. Just like they claimed they weren't on Martha's Vineyard when the 15 or 20 illegal immigrant ambassadors paid a visit to Martha's Vineyard in the middle of the night.
No. The DNC had him murdered. Hillary Clinton, when she was active in politics, was the DNC. Okay. Yeah. Simple as that. She called the DNC, told them what to do. They did it. Hillary Clinton, if there's ever evil in this world, Hillary's Clinton, Bill's a huckabuck. Hillary's an evil bitch. And Hillary needs to die, and then we need to take a wooden stake and put it through her heart just to make sure. I'm telling you, man. That chick, there's something wrong with her. She is just, the bodies just pile up around her for some reason. They're usually people she knows. They're all suicides or accidents, but in very suspicious circumstances. And the cops, you know what happens with these people? The FBI walks in, says, "Give me the shit, give me all the evidence. We're taking over the case." And suddenly, a guy gets shot in the back of the head with a shotgun 3 times. He's a suicide. It's, come
Yeah,
on, it's
yeah,
insane.
yeah. It's not like you see if you watch the TV shows like Law and Order or Chicago PD. All of a sudden, the feds will come in and take over a case, and on those shows, it gets so bad that the 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 people on those TV shows, their role all of a sudden gets spun off to another series, their own series where they're working with the FBI all of a sudden. They're the top investigator for the FBI. Chris Maloney, the guy who plays Detective Stabler, who played Detective Stabler on Law and Order, he got moved to his own series based on his wife got murdered, but he all of a sudden got bumped from the New York Police Department to working a beat to being the New York Police Department's crime guy with the mob in Ireland, in Italy. So it's just crazy how that stuff happens. But you're probably right. They just show up, they take all the evidence, and they put bullets in the heads of the people that they don't want, or you get a windowless cell.
I liked Lenny, the original one, and I liked Belker. Ice-T was okay.
Yeah.
Back in the day. But the rest of them, I hated every one of them. Because they all acted just exactly the way cops do. They just walk around and freaking, bully people. Jerry, how's the show doing? All right, I'll say one more time. It's about the same. Thank you, Robin. I don't really want to talk about it. I'll be truthful.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The guy who played Ice-T's partner. Yeah. The guy who played Ice-T's partner, Belker, the older Jewish guy, he passed away. So he had left anyway, but he passed away before they could ever bring him back in cameos, or maybe even someday make him a high-ranking New York
anyway,
police officer. Yeah,
I'll be truthful. I don't watch regular TV, so I don't watch any of that stuff anymore. I watch TCM. I watch the old movies. From right now at night after the shows and stuff, I'll watch Charlie Chan movies. I don't really give a shit about regular TV.
Yeah.
Every time you turn it on, there's got to be a mixed couple, or there has to be, the white guy's the idiot, or there has to be, the father looks like a moron, or it's just some stupid ass shit.
Yeah.
Or some freaking social justice freaking episode. I'm like, this ain't the real world. And if you're gonna have a TV show, try to make it something real, or at least funny.
Yep.
One of those two.
Yep. Yep.
I used to watch MASH. I know I've watched every episode.
MASH was great.
Probably 5 times.
MASH was great.
It was nothing like really Korea great. Or that particular set. The doctors were nothing like they were in real life, but at least it was funny.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're not going to have real world shit, make it funny.
Yeah. Like Hogan's
Social
Heroes.
Justice is not funny.
Right. Hogan's Heroes was funny because they did what they did what probably every American prisoner of war in a Nazi concentration camp wished they could have done while they were in there. So those shows were funny. We don't have cable because we have just about every streaming service anyway, so it just means we watch one day behind. But the main reason I think is that there are 3 of us in the house. Our son is self-employed and works out of the house. Our daughter is self-employed. She's self-employed and works out of the house. And I suck up every every gigabyte of internet I can doing everything I do. So, we just, now the price goes up all the time. You get a sweetheart deal. They were getting sweetheart deals for cable TV, and then 6 months later, all of a sudden the bill triples, and they call somebody else, and all of a sudden it went up again.
Well, Dave,
so
bottom line, they're ripping us all off.
They are.
It's like every other company out there. They're ripping us all off with internet. Mine's a perfect example, and we all just, you know what? If you want TV, you got to pay something. You got to pay somebody. Now, if I had streaming services, that'd be great, but I'd be running to 200 gigs a month.
Yeah.
On that, and there's no such thing as unlimited. Well, they call it unlimited, but what they do is slow it down so much that you can't have a streaming service,
right?
Because it just keeps buffering.
Yeah.
So it's not true high-speed internet, and it's certainly not true high-speed internet. That much I can tell you. And it's not true, unlimited high-speed internet. So it's all in the wording. That's why they keep changing words. They keep changing words, like minor attracted person. I will never call them that. If there's a word worse than pedophile, I call them that.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like, I remember when they used to be garbage men, and now they're sanitation engineers, which, really?
Yeah.
Okay. When your job is to go around, pick up garbage, this is what I'm going to tell you. You're probably not the smartest guy on the planet, but you're getting paid pretty good, and you are strong as shit.
Yeah.
Because that job is one of the harder. People don't realize how hard that job is. They see the guy riding around the back of the truck, and they think that's cool, but that is one hard-ass job. Just holding on to the back of that truck is not easy. Well, it's doing 50, 60 miles an hour.
No. And I even before the dementia set in, I could never have that job, because if my nose itched and that truck was moving at 75 miles an hour, it didn't matter. One hand was coming off that rail to scratch my nose. And I'd be probably flying off that truck and run over by the car behind me, or splat on the car.
All I can tell you is I did it for one day, and I didn't even finish out the day. I ended up sitting in the truck. It was a Saturday. I was working out of a labor pool when I was still drinking. And I'm here to tell you, that is one hard-ass job. And the guy, that's why you never see usually a fat garbage man, as far as not the guy driving the truck, but the guys in the back that actually pick up the garbage and throw it in there.
And now, when we were in Connecticut, just before we moved, we had Waste Management, and they're so far technically advanced. Now it's one guy driving a truck that has an arm that picks up the barrel, dumps it, puts it back on the ground, and does the job of a fleet in half the time, but it probably costs 5 times as much. Michael Anthony, Fear No One, popped in, and we're just having a good old time. But okay, well, I'm sorry. I didn't think that would happen, but it's open topics night, and I invited a lot of people, and sometimes stuff happens. But Mr. Michael, what's the good word?
I knew that would happen.
Well, okay, let's just go on, and let's just go on. We just go on. You can't please, when you're an executive producer, you can't please everybody. So you just do what you can, and you go along.
Yeah, well, don't make your life worse because of me.
My life is worse My life is worse because I'm on a path to have a life that gets a lot worse. So I guess I just do what I do and hope I laugh and enjoy it while I'm doing it. And
Always be ready for a new tomorrow.
always be ready for a new tomorrow. That's what I said yesterday. And I guess this morning just turned out. I slept great for the first time in a long time, even 2 years into the dementia. I don't know. I slept like a brick and just didn't have any issue sleeping. I woke up this morning. I felt great, took my morning meds, and ended up sleeping half the day, which, that I didn't get anything done. A lot of people that see me on Facebook all day were messaging me left and right, where are you? And it's like I tell people, I'm not any more important than anybody else is on Facebook. So, if you see something, post something. Don't wait for me to post it, because by the time I post it, it's probably not even news anymore. But Mr. Michael, what's happening up in Pennsylvania tonight?
Well, the weather has improved. It's kind of neutral. Seems like we're in the mid to upper 40s. We had a cold spell for a while. Winters haven't been quite the same the last few years. I really look into all this climate stuff and watch what's going on there. So, all I can tell you is they, keep doing what they're doing up there, so to speak. I made a post the other day. What is that strange light in the sky? Oh, it's the sun. Are you still? Really, it's not like Florida at all, Dave. It's doom and gloom constantly over the city.
Are you still bombing the news feed with the black background, white text posts? Because
every day, at least 100.
Then I have been seriously moved so far down in the bottom feeders bulletin that I'm going to have to start going to your page to get them and copy them, because I actually enjoyed reading them, and I looked and I haven't seen that. Well, I was blocked for a while, but I earned that. So everybody, I earned Michael blocking me the last time. I really did. I pushed him beyond where he should have blocked me.
I don't block people. I just move. I just put everything aside for a few days and let thoughts collect.
I know.
Because we need to take breaks from each other. Here's the thing.
We do.
It's none of our faults.
Right.
The fault is what we're experiencing. And so we all have a different little bit of a method, but it doesn't mean that anybody's doing anything wrong.
No.
The best way to do it is to step back, take a breath, step back in.
Right.
Not everybody can do it. Some people will run from it, Right. Some people fear certain things about certain things, and they can never clear their minds perfectly from moving forward. Right. That's why I try to tell everybody, tomorrow will be a new day. Always look forward to what you can do for tomorrow. Here we are, Dave, years later into this battle, still talking the regurgitation, simulation of everything that's going on. And now we're into a new phase. The newest phase is we're on our way to Texas. And here immediately I started seeing scam videos flying everywhere, that there were thousands and thousands and thousands of people down there with the college background chant, F Joe Biden. And listen, that's exactly what it was. People got a picture of a video and they went to the football college game and they got the F Joe Biden and simulated the voices into that video. It's all fake. There's no crowd down there like it. But again, it's biggest, like 9/11, it's like January 6th all over.
The biggest problem, and it's only because it creates all this BS negativity that isn't real. I have a lot of respect for digital creators, but now I don't know a digital creator that doesn't subscribe or is somehow affiliated with some kind of AI site and can go in and make just about anybody they want doing just about anything they want. And what really bothers me about all of this stuff is that when all of this ends up in court down in Texas, or all of this is reviewed after it's done down in Texas, the next step is going to be everybody on the other side of the aisle from us that does what we do, posting all these videos and going, this one was AI. You can tell how it was AI. This one was BS. It used outdated video. And for the 40 years that I've been on the internet, the only thing I ever learned was if you are going to do something, use what's happening right in front of you as the video. Don't try to produce something that looks like or does like or says what you are trying to say, because it's going to come back and bite you in the ass. Even if it did accomplish what you wanted, YouTube is going to spank me for having it in a broadcast, or Facebook is going to spank me for posting it in one of my groups because one of their fake checkers is going to decide that it's not true, or pick it apart to prove that it wasn't true. And people spend more time on that than they do listening to the message and moving on to the next one. Other than you and I have been talking, or I've been talking to you lately, that maybe it's not so much the regurgitation of a broadcast, it's going back and doing a regurgitation of where we are now. So something could have happened 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, but obviously it's either gotten better, or it's gotten worse, or it's just not gotten. And sometimes I think it's important to go back and look at something from where it was when we left off to where we are now. And not everybody spends every day in front of one of their devices watching the news, or watching what they think is the news, and learning everything. And there's still, I believe, on both sides of the aisle, a large portion of American citizens who just don't pay any attention, because a lot of this stuff isn't affecting them in their life every day. They can still get up and put gas in the car, throw their kids in the car, drop them at school, go to work, leave work, pick up their kids, stop by takeout or something, go home and have a nice dinner, spend time with their kids, and go to bed and get up and do it the next day. Which is okay, I guess, if that's the way that you want to be. But I've never been one of those kinds of people.
Right. Well, here's part of the first problem. It's not that A&I just fell into our laps in the last year. A&I has been around for about 30 years. It's sophisticated itself, and they taught it better, but it's been here. And a lot of what we see that we get violations of community standards for are their own propagandas of lies that they are feeding within the system, where we see things, we repost it, and they say it's false. That's them implanting false information so they know where to attack us. Mm-hmm. They attack us by planting the wrong information, and we start talking about it because it creates a vibe, just like everything that occurs creates a vibe.
Yep.
All we can do is hope for the best. You know what I mean? That's why I say, it's the new dawn. It's, how we fight for tomorrow. And it's going to be difficult because we're going to get into this zone of where it's going to become even more prevalent, where we're going to see their actions become more adverse towards us, towards what they intend and how they intend to control us even more. They're removing people's friends from people's friends lists. They're removing people's posts. It's like we're into this next new phase
they've been doing. But like you said, AI came around 30 years ago. Facebook launched in 2004. They've been removing people from your friends list. They've been blocking people from your friends list. They've been kicking people out of your groups. They've been blocking them from your groups. They've been playing both sides for as long as they've been around. And when they launched in 2004, they probably had the best people hired that were capable of doing it.
Yeah, let me give you a quick example of something what they do.
Okay.
I went into a couple groups I forgot I even had.
Yep.
And I'm like just looking around and they're dead. So I removed the admins because they weren't involved for a long time. And I like recreated them. And so what are the first things I'm finding? Pornographic.
Yep.
So materials. Because
the admins weren't there and the admins don't deal with it.
Right. They just abandoned the sites you give them. So anyway, long story short of it is this, something that I found out that they're doing. And it makes sense to me. I can't prove it, but it really collects all the thought of making sense. So about a week and a half ago, I went through a group and I removed all these people with all these foreign names, with all this porn. And the next thing you know, I got hit with a community violation standard. And I thought to myself, well, what the hell happened? I was just in there cleaning the whole group up. So about a week later, last week, I did another group. I cleaned it up. I got hit about 2 hours later with a community standard in the group that I went through hours and taking time to clean it up, get rid of all these people, all the corruption, all the liars, all the pornographic. I got hit with a community standards. Well, wouldn't you know, today, I wasn't even thinking about it. I go into your group's management and I'm noticing, wow, yeah, that's my group too. I forgot about it because it's too hard to be in every group, even if you created them and gave them to other people. And wouldn't you know, the minute I started to do it, I got hit with a community standard violation again. So here's where we are with what they're doing and why just the other day they called all the mega kings out of the social media platforms up to Washington, and they were reaming all their asses sitting there over how children and all these negative thoughts of everything that we know of human trafficking and more is going on. So what are they doing? We're doing the cleanup for them because we don't want it anyway. And then we get hit with the community standard violation. So they look like they're doing something good. And they're not.
That's exactly what it is. They're doing what I call drive-by porning in the public groups where they can get away with it because they don't join as members. Usually they get approved as a participant, and they forget that once they get approved as a participant, they can go in there and do it. Plus, there isn't a drive-by porner on Facebook who isn't a very intelligent person. I mean, they never hit your group with the same Facebook profile more than that one time, because they know you're going to block that person that one time. And I've talked to my 4 or 5 admins that it's very easy to block them. And I mean block them and keep them out so that they can't post. But again, not everybody wants to take the time to do it. And you're right, that Facebook, because people complain to Facebook about it, they will eventually take a group away from an admin or admins, that it's happening a lot because people complained.
Yeah.
That's how they get a lot of our groups, conservative patriot groups, the MAGA groups, shut down. That's what they do. This is what they hit, and they hit a group until Facebook takes the group and puts it on admin assist, which is the worst piece of trash they ever put out. The only piece of trash that is worse than admin assist is Meta Business Suite, which is what they did with Pages when they took us off the classic page format and made us all Facebook for Business page, or made some of us Facebook for Business pages. But that's neither here nor there.
These are part of the big issues. Is the only reason why I brought up that little tidbit of what we fight with. But it reflects even worse. Yeah. While we clean up and get rid of things, then they know where to attack us by what they're seeing and who we are in contact with, and they try to do a breakaway scenario from that for us. That's why, like you're saying maybe you're not seeing my posts. Well, I can't do nothing about it. I can only do what I can where I can. But
I have to go and take the posts, and I don't have any problem doing that. Do you know someone named Paul Smith? He says, hello, me and you. You're a breath of fresh air out there. Good show all the way around. I don't know Paul, but I'm glad that you're watching, and I'm glad that you are enjoying. Please share the broadcast, because Michael knows more people on Facebook than I do, and
it's not about who you know. It's just about staying in the game. You know, it's like someone who takes on an oath. You don't follow the oath just during the time that it's easy. When you take an oath to protect children and to help America, you stay in it because it's going to be fucking hard. Yep. And that's what I've tried to do. That's what I think we've all tried to do. We've all tried to take this oath upon ourselves to create a movement to take us to a better level, a newer level, a new tomorrow in America. And, you know, we have to stay strong and work together to do it. And some people are going to fall off the trail. Some people are going to get lost on the trail. That doesn't mean we ever quit.
Nope, it does not. I don't want to cut this short, but the dogs are going in Studio B, and we're coming up on 8:30. So words of wisdom.
No, just take care of your animals. They're as important as we are. Remember, they're starting to feed us like animals.
Yep.
All right, brother. I'm sorry. I appreciated the invite, and I'm sorry that your audience and participation.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Not everybody's going to like me, but I don't do this to be liked. I do this because we can successfully get across good messages to the people.
That's right. All
right. Have a great night, David.
All right. Great. Thanks, Michael. All right. Michael Anthony, Studio 10 Broadcasting. You see him all over the clock talks. You see him around Facebook. You see him on some of the other social media networks. Go to his page and become his friend, and you'll get notified every time he comes on and is doing something. Jerry Michaels from the American Rebellion was here Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, 7 p.m. until they end. I can't give you time at the end because sometimes they would probably go until they end. And it's always a great time. So 7 p.m. Tomorrow night over on the American Rebellion. I can't grab Bill Muckler's books because they're a little buried right now, but 2020, A Clear Vision for America, and 2020, A Clear Vision for Our Future, both $25 for the pair. If you go to 2020americabook.com, 2020americabook.com, and buy the books. And they are great reading, and so great reading that at 90 years old or close to 90 years old, if Bill Muckler ran for president, I think even Democrats would vote for him right now. You can catch the Bill Muckler show every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 5 weekdays, about 11 a.m. on the Bill Muckler profile and in the Bill Muckler show group. And please watch it, share it with all of your friends and even people who aren't your friends, and let them decide if it's something that they want to watch. My wife just walked in, which means that karate is done. There's 2 minutes until 8:30, and we're going to pull the plug. And, stuff happens. The dogs have Studio B at 8:30, so that's why they're rehearsing for what they're going to do. Jane O'Malley, a pleasure to have you watching. Robin Brunson, always a pleasure to have you watching. Callum McMillan, always a pleasure with you. Let's see who else. Larry Burns made us international because he was on from Canada. And Beth McCord, a new admin in some of our groups, probably all of our groups tomorrow. She's an admin now in Conservative Freedom Defenders, and I will add her to the rest of our groups tomorrow and talk to the founding admins and senior admins of groups that I've been added to over last weekend and see if she can be brought in through there. Facebook works best when conservative patriot, as I call us, admins work together with all the conservative patriot admins we can and form large conservative patriot communities. And every admin helps everybody else. Life is too short for the drama of, I don't like this person, I don't like that person. So we all just need to work together with each other. Our groups work so fantastic because if I'm not on Facebook for a day, Terry Stark is on from like 1 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock in the morning, then comes back in the afternoon and posts stuff, and then does some admin work, and goes to bed, and then comes back on around 3 o'clock in the morning and does the same thing the next day. A lot of respect for that lady. And she's got some of the best non-political groups on Facebook that you'll ever join anyway, if you get an invite. So thanks to her for helping. And Beth McCord, like I said, you're welcome. Glad that you're here in all of the groups. I can get you added in as an admin and our groups, which I will make sure you're in all of them tomorrow. And we will look for you next Tuesday. I know you said that Thursdays were not good. I just figured since I saw you on Facebook that maybe you were going to be free to be on tonight, which is why I invited you. But next Tuesday, I will coordinate with you throughout the day, and hopefully you will be on the desk. Jen Woodruff was on special assignment tonight. It was something positive, but I can't remember what it was because I looked at it about 2 minutes before we went live. But a very busy lady, the homeschooling mom. If you are homeschooling your children or thinking about homeschooling your children, Jen Woodruff is someone that you want to follow on Facebook. And if you have questions, ask her. She's very active in a nationwide organization of homeschoolers that has been around for a very long time, that actually the Department of Education in Washington, D.C. and in some of the states listen to. So she will be more than willing to help you. So thanks to Michael Anthony for popping in for a few minutes. Thanks to Jerry Michaels, who popped in from the American Rebellion again Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday over on Rumble. I'm still apologizing for saying live at some point the American Rumble on Rebellion. I apologize for saying it, and if you have heard it, make sure you remind me that it is the American Rebellion on Rumble. When Boogie with the Bull gets over to Rumble, it will probably be called Rumble with the Bull on Rumble. But anyway, I'm going to go to bed because it's time to go to bed. This is the part of the broadcast where I tell you you've been watching Boogie with the Bull Thursday Night Live, a copyrighted presentation of the No Budget Broadcasting Company, and I will leave it at that. If you are interested in advertising or sponsorship announcements, because I keep hearing from some people that say they might be, either message me on Facebook Messenger or contact me through boogiewithbull@gmail.com, and I will talk to you about it. Mainly, I'm looking for trade-out stuff. I'm looking for stuff that products from your business that you will give, that we can use to give away to promote your business. I'm not looking for money that I can put in my pocket or toward running, covering the costs of the broadcasts at this time. It's just that part of it's just not important right now. Anyway, we'll see you next Tuesday, probably without a beard, because it's a haircut and beard trim weekend. Sometime I will beg my wife hard enough and maybe hopefully go Saturday and get a haircut and get my beard taken away. And I'll see you back here Tuesday or tomorrow, or maybe on Rumble tomorrow, but I don't know. Probably next Tuesday. Anyway, Double B's for victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast has come to an end, an hour and 34 minutes, and we're trying to work it down actually to 1 hour. We are looking for, last thing I'm going to say, and there will not be a whole bunch of more last things tonight. Last thing I'm going to say tonight is we are looking for someone who is really good, has the equipment to go through an hour and 45-minute Boogie with the Bull and look for segments of the broadcast no longer than 3 minutes that can be made into clips that we can take and use as tweets over on X, posts on truthsocial.com, streetlock.com, all the other .coms, even on Facebook, to promote the broadcasts between Tuesdays and Thursdays. We cannot afford to pay you, so it has to be some kind of trade out, something that we can do, maybe hyping your business or letting you come on and promote your business. Again, contact me if that is something that a skill that you have. I do know that coming soon will be a Boogie with the Bull opening theme video, like the old Batman theme where the searchlight shows the Batman logo up in the sky at night, so that Batman knows to call Commissioner Gordon. We have something like that coming from Randy Harrison and our friends over at Night Owl Entertainment and the United Media Group Uncensored, and it will be here shortly. And if you want to be on the broadcast, all you got to do is let me know. And the best thing is to let me know by 6:45 on Messenger, and I will make sure you get the link. I didn't post the link in the group tonight. I apologize for that. Anyway, it's time to say goodnight.